Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of It's Okay Not to Be Okay. Um, Today's episode, we are talking about something that affects millions of women everywhere, and yet is surprisingly very still misunderstood and very underspoken about, which is perimenopause. And then today we have, like always, Dr. Rajam Buksani helping us understand what it is, what we can do about it, what help, advice, every question we can have. Perfect. How are you?
I am good. And I'm glad we're talking about this. And yes, I think in the recent years, we've started talking about it more, but I think there were years and years that women have to just get up and function and get over it. So I'm glad we're talking about it because it's a major transition in a woman's life. And I think we need to all come together to support each other as women, and I think society needs to be able to support women too.
Yeah, absolutely. And truthfully, I am happy we are doing this topic as well, because even as a woman, I will say I didn't even know perimenopause was a thing. So
Absolutely. Here we are.
exactly. For everybody else like me. Perfect. I mean, for everybody else like me, like just to start off simply, what is perimenopause, like, and then how is it different from menopause?
Right. So menopause is where you have not had a period for 12 months. So, if a woman does not have a period for 12 months, after that, she is considered in menopause. 10 years before that, you could be in perimenopause and you could be experiencing the symptoms of perimenopause, which includes, hormonal fluctuations and very aggressive hormonal fluctuations, which kind of affect your whole life, right? So as a woman, it affects my moods, it affects how much energy I have. You honestly don't feel like yourself. You feel like an out-of-body experience because you don't know what is going on. And again, like I said, it could be up to 10 years before menopause. So, it could be as early as in your late 30s or it could be in your early 40s. So the average age in America for menopause is about 51, right? So think about it, anywhere from 41, and sometimes it's even earlier because the 51 is just an average age. So it could be, as quick as in your late 30s that you start experiencing these symptoms.
Wow, okay. I didn't even know that.
Okay. We're all heading there. We're into
yeah. Wow, okay.
Some of us are already there.
I mean, in regards to that, I'm sure that's heavy with the intense hormonal changes and all of that. What are some of the emotional and mental health symptoms of perimenopause that often get overlooked?
Right. So some of the things, and you know what, Amanda, this is very important because, even if they're people, if they're women who've never experienced anxiety, depression in their life, this will be the first time they will, right? So we see a lot of mood disorders. We see a lot of women who are so anxious, irritable, just the fluctuation in moods because you're so tired that you feel low. And in fact, the other day I was reading somewhere, in someone who's an authority in perimenopause, and she was actually talking about how during this phase, one of the medicines that's prescribed the most are antidepressants, because there's so many women who actually get on antidepressants at this phase of their life because of the intense mood fluctuation. So we see a lot of women who especially are going through depression and anxiety at this point.
So it does change a lot.
It does.
I mean, in consideration of those changes, how does perimenopause impact how a woman sees herself, how she sees her role in the world?
Yeah. I think there's a boon and a bane. I'm really not going to say it's all bad, because I don't think it is. So, while there is all of this, and, in fact, one of the other mental health effects is brain fog. So we just tend to forget. There are so many times I know I walk out of here to go and see my assistant, and by the time I get there, I have no clue what I was going to tell her, right? So brain fog is a real thing, and a lot of perimenopausal women, experience that brain fog, along with all the other stuff, that we talked about. And remember, there's also, so these are the mental health effects, but there's also physical effects, right? So there is, the very famous hot flashes. We have sleep problems, joint pains, extreme fatigue, sometimes even irritability with sounds. Like if someone's too loud, you want to do things to them that I can't necessarily talk about on camera. So it's a lot. So, having to deal with all these symptoms, and again, because this is not really talked about, when women kind of find themselves going through it, they're like, okay, what's happening? This is crazy. Like, why am I so tired all the time? So that is, one of the reasons why women feel at this point that, okay, I really don't feel like myself. The good part of this is that I think women at this stage, because there is such a lack of patience, and I think we get to a point where we really do evaluate our life and what it means, how I need to take care of myself, because nature does that for me. There is no way of being able to do everything that you think you need to do with the way you're feeling. So I think it helps you prioritize things. It helps women become more confident, because we start asking for things. We start saying no to things that, okay, no, I cannot do this. You need to take care of this. So while I think there is that part of, oh my gosh, what is going on with me? I feel like I'm going crazy. The other part of it is that, okay, now I'm going to need to ask for help. I'm going to need to say no to things. So I think we see an increase in that, which is a positive sign.
Okay. I mean, yeah, like in everything, there's always the good and the bad. I mean, considering with all of these changes, how it changes you as a person, even personality and stuff, how does perimenopause affect or impact, romantic relationships or a marriage?
Yeah, so it does. In fact, what studies have found is there's a very high rate of divorce during this phase. And I think it's a couple of things, so obviously, remember, when there's a hormonal fluctuation, there's going to be changes in my libido, changes in, how close I want to be with a person, and all of that, right? So that, of course, affects marriages or romantic relationships. And the other thing is like what I just discussed, where, the patience level of a woman is different. So where, a few years back, she was ready to do everything and saying yes to everything. Now she's beginning to kind of stand her ground and say, no, I don't want to do this, because she's also learning about herself. So I think that complicates marriages, and the lack of knowledge or awareness that the partner has, that I think contributes, to a great extent to these divorces that are happening, or, relationships that break up during this time. Because I think it's important for partners to understand what, and how, what this phase is, what a woman is going through, because it's difficult for her to understand in a lot of times what is going on. So she might be snapping a little bit, she might be irritable, but I think it requires from the partner a level of patience, a little, and awareness and acceptance, which I think is lacking only because we don't talk about this stuff. So, that's where we found that it does tend to affect marriages or partnerships.
Right. I mean, speaking of partners and trying, to educate them a little bit, what are some practical ways partners can support someone going through perimenopause?
Yeah. So one is educate yourself.
Right.
Because really that awareness of what your partner or your, spouse is going through is extremely important for you to even know or to begin to understand why someone is behaving in the way that they are, right?
Right.
And for you then not to internalize it. So if someone is tired and not wanting to do something, this is not about you. So the more education and awareness I have, the more I'm going to be able to not internalize what my partner's behaviors are. Some of the other things are validating what she's going through, because again, it is a very physically and emotionally challenging time for women. So, validating when she's tired, letting her rest, in fact, encouraging it, encouraging self-care for her, because a lot of women tend to not want to, indulge in self-care. Although I feel like at this point, most women are pushed into doing that because of the way we feel. But in spite of that, just traditionally, women are always, very ready to sacrifice for the family. So encouraging her to take care of herself, encouraging her to get the rest she needs, educating yourself on some of the supplements that are helpful while she's going through these phases, being able to talk to a medical professional so that you could, whatever is, because yes, HRT is absolutely one way to go, and it's encouraged. If someone chose not to go that route, there are still other supplements that women can take that can at least help alleviate some of those symptoms that she's feeling and start feeling better. So, encouraging her to seek medical help, encouraging her to seek therapy. If there is, if you see her depressed, anxious, if she's going through this, encouraging her to see a therapist where she can deal with some of this stuff would be extremely helpful.
Yeah, I mean, that leads me right into the next question. When might therapy be especially helpful for women experiencing perimenopause?
Always.
Yeah.
Therapy is always helpful. But not everyone has access to therapy, right? So again, as long as you have a good support system, what I found, Amanda, and I found it in my own life, that women go through this very silently. Like nobody's talking to even each other. But I think the power of women getting together and talking about what they're going through and helping each other out is profound, right? Mm-hmm. So if you can get help, if you can see a therapist, great. If you can't, listen, get your girl gangs together, get that support network going, because they are the ones. And there are people, I have friends who are a little older than I am and who've kind of gone through stuff that I am going through right now, who can guide me and say, you know what, I know this feels like hell, but don't worry. This is the trajectory, or you'll feel better, or this is what you can do to help yourself feel better. So I think if you can't speak to a therapist, get support from other women. And women really need to talk to each other about this, because this is probably one of the most difficult phases in a woman's life, affecting not only herself, but her relationships. And I do believe that one of the most powerful things we can do is talk about it and support each other.
Right, absolutely. And I absolutely agree. I mean, I think one of the most validating feelings is being able to relate to somebody else in that sense, and not just one or two people. It's like I had mentioned in the beginning, millions of different women.
Yes.
So yeah, make you feel like, oh, okay, so this is normal.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's definitely one of the most validating feelings. But at the moment, that basically sums up all of our questions. I did learn a lot throughout this episode. So I do want to thank you for helping us understand a little bit more what it is, how it affects everything in our lives, and some advice, especially for the women in this that are listening.
Absolutely. Anytime. And I know you keep coming up with, amazing topics. So I'm sure I'll see you again very soon with another amazing topic.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. Buksani.
Not at all.
Bye.
Bye.